century now, movie theaters have been a place where people gather to escape reality, to immerse themselves, to experience emotions, and to share in the collective experience of cinema. But the story of how movie theaters came to be, how they evolved, and how they're facing the challenges of the modern world is as rich and compelling as the films that have graced their screens. The origin of movie theaters is deeply intertwined with the advent of motion picture technology and the entrepreneurial spirit of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The journey begins with the invention of motion pictures, a technological marvel that forever changed the way we perceive and experience the world. Before movies could be shown in theaters, there had to be a way to capture and project moving images, a feat that required innovation, experimentation, and a profound understanding of both photography and optics. The earliest roots of motion pictures can be traced back to the invention of photography in the early 19th century. The ability to capture still images was a revolutionary breakthrough, but it was only the beginning. Inventors and scientists soon began to experiment with ways to create the illusion of motion by rapidly displaying a sequence of images. One of the earliest devices to achieve this was the zoetrope, a cylindrical device with a series of images on the inside. When the cylinder was spun, the images appeared to move, creating a primitive form of animation. However, it wasn't until the late 19th century that the dream of capturing real motion on film became a reality. The development of celluloid film, a flexible and durable material capable of holding a sequence of images, was a key milestone. The invention of the kinetoscope by Thomas Edison and his assistant, William Kennedy Laurie Dixon, in 1891 was another significant step forward. The kinetoscope was an early motion picture device that allowed an individual to view a short film through a peephole. Although it was not a projector and could only be viewed by one person at a time, it marked the beginning of the motion picture industry. The true birth of the movie theater as we know it now came with the invention of the film projector. In 1895, the Lumiere brothers, Auguste and Louis, developed the cinematograph, a device that could both capture and project moving images. They're often credited with holding the first public screening of a motion picture, which took place on December 28, 1895, at the Grand Café in Paris. This event is widely regarded as the birth of cinema as a public spectacle, and has set the stage for the creation of movie theaters. As the technology for projecting films to an audience became more refined, entrepreneurs began to see the potential for a new form of entertainment, one that could bring people together in a communal setting to watch films on a large screen. The first dedicated represented a new era of entertainment where movies weren't just short novelty acts, but full-length features that told stories, showcased stars, and transported audiences to different times and places. The movie theater became a place where the magic of cinema came to life, where the screen flickered with dreams, and where the collective experience of watching a film became a cultural phenomenon. But the story of movie theaters is not just about the technology that made them possible or the grandeur of the venues themselves. It's also a story of entrepreneurship, of visionaries who saw the potential of this new medium and turned it into an industry. Figures like Adolf Zukor, founder of Paramount Pictures, and Marcus Lowe, founder of the Lowe's Theater chain, were instrumental in shaping the movie theater industry. They understood that movies were more than just entertainment. They were a business, one that required marketing, distribution, and a network of theaters to show the films. The rise of Hollywood as the center of the film industry was closely linked to the development of the movie theater business. The major studios that emerged in the 1920s and 30s, Paramount, MGM, Warner Brothers, and others, recognized that controlling both the production and distribution of films was key to their success. This led to the vertical integration of the industry, where the studios owned the theaters and controlled what films were shown. This system dominated the industry until the landmark antitrust case, United States versus Paramount Theaters, or Paramount Pictures, rather, Inc., in 1948, which led to the studios divesting their theater chains. Despite the breakup of the studio theater monopoly, the movie theater business continued to thrive throughout the mid-20th century. The post-World War II era saw a boom in movie attendance as audiences flocked to theaters to see the latest films. Theaters became a central part of social life, a place where people of all ages gathered to enjoy the latest Hollywood blockbusters, newsreels, and even cartoons. Drive-in theaters, which offered the novelty of watching movies from the comfort of your car, became particularly popular in the 1950s, catering to the booming post-war car culture. However, the movie theater industry was not without its challenges. The rise of television in the 1950s posed a significant threat, as families increasingly chose to stay home and watch TV rather than go out to the movie. The industry responded by introducing new technologies and formats, such as widescreen cinemascope and 3D, to lure audiences back to theaters. Now, the blockbuster era of the 1970s and 80s, spearheaded by films like Jaws, Star Wars, and E.T., saw a resurgence in movie theater attendance as studios focused on creating big event films that could only be fully appreciated on the big screen. Yet, as we moved into the 21st century, the landscape of the movie theater industry began to shift once again. The rise of the internet and digital technology brought about new challenges, and the advent of streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, audiences who've grown up with digital media and are accustomed to the convenience of streaming. The 2020 pandemic only accelerated this trend as theaters were forced to close their doors for months on end, and studios turned to streaming platforms to release their films. But despite these challenges, the movie theater industry has shown remarkable resilience. The theaters have adapted by offering new experiences that can't be replicated at home. Luxury seating, enhanced sound and picture quality, and even dine-in options. The rise of IMAX and other premium formats has also helped to differentiate the theater experience from home viewing, offering audiences an immersive experience that streaming simply can't match. Moreover, there is something uniquely special about the movie theater experience that continues to draw people in. Watching a film in a darkened theater, surrounded by others, creates a sense of shared experience that's hard to replicate at home. It's an opportunity to be fully absorbed in a story without the distractions of everyday life. The communal nature of the theater experience, the collective gasp, the shared laughter, the silence that falls over the audience during a tense moment. These are all aspects of movie-going that can't be duplicated by streaming. As we look to the future, it's clear that movie theaters are facing an uncertain landscape. The rise of streaming services has fundamentally changed the way people consume media, and the movie theater industry will need to continue to adapt to survive. But while it's true that theaters are on the decline, it's unlikely that they will completely fade away anytime soon. There will always be a place for the big screen, for the shared experience of watching a film with others, for the magic of the movies. Movie theaters have weathered many storms over the past century, from the advent of television to the rise of home video, from the dominance of cable TV to the explosion of streaming services. And yet they've persisted. They have adapted, evolved, and found new ways to engage audiences. The road ahead may be challenging, but the love for cinema and the desire for a communal viewing experience are unlikely to disappear. Movie theaters may change, but they will endure, continuing to be a place where dreams are projected onto the silver screen. So, please let me know what other topics you'd like to see me